Good afternoon and welcome along to the horseracing.net preview of Saturday's racing action, focusing as we always do on the ITV racing in particular, with a view to hopefully cracking the ITV7. As you know, it's the £50,000 game, 7 races to choose from. If you can get all 7, you're in the chance with winning a £50,000 cash prize. Now, don't claim to be able to pick all 7 for you, but hopefully can point you in direction of a few winners. And it's a good set of racing on Saturday. We've got meetings at Newmarket, Ascot and Redcar to get stuck into, and the feature race is at 2:45 at Newmarket. It's the Group 1 Sun Chariot Stakes. This is a really interesting race, this, an open looking renewal of this Group 1 contest for fillies and mares over a mile. 12 runners due to go to post, and the 7-2 favourite at the time of recording is Champs-Élysées, who won the Matron Stakes in really good style at Leopardstown last time out. There was plenty to like about that effort. She flew down the outside and accounted for Peaceful, another smart filly, when doing that. She's highly progressive. She's the one to beat here on the back of that. But there's a few to consider in opposition, including Terabellum. She wasn't so great last time out, but she'd have leading claims if repeating her effort to finish second in the Queen Anne back in June. Others to consider include Nazif. She struggled at Deauville last time, but she was a winner of the Falmouth Stakes back in July. But the way I'm going to go here is at a slightly bigger price each way with Billesdon Brook. Really likeable 5-year-old. She won this race last year, of course, and while she's yet to win so far this season, she's been running really well, holding her form pretty well. Some really good efforts under her belt, including when second to Nazif at Newmarket in the Falmouth back in July. She was second last time out at this level in the Atalanta Stakes. She's really consistent, really likeable type. She tends to save her best form for Newmarket. Sean Levy is on board again. Fancy her to go very close indeed, and she's a good bet at about 12-1 to hit the frame as a consequence. Okay, heading back to the start of the card. 1:55 is our first televised race that's on the ITV7. There is the 1:40 at Newmarket, but we're going to just look at the ITV7 races. This is the 1:55 5-furlong Rous Stakes. It's a listed contest, 14 due to go to post here. Plenty of familiar names in here: Tis Marvellous, Tarbouche, Al Jardi, all smart sprinters. Glamorous Anna as well, the bigger prize, all worthy of consideration. But the way I've gone here is with, well, I've kept it simple, and I just think Dakota Gold appeals as the best option. He's been in brilliant heart so far this season. He won the Beverley Bullet back in August, and he's produced two really solid efforts since. He's placed on both occasions. He was second at York last month behind Starman. That form looks very good indeed. Starman looks a real top-class sprint in the making. And then he was quickly turned around at Doncaster later that week for the Scarborough Stakes at the St Ledger meeting. I thought he ran really well. He's been given time to catch his breath since. He's a really consistent type. The form he's been showing, he sets a standard here on the back of that. Yeah, I fancy him to prove his class here and win this. So Dakota Gold, 4-1 at the time of recording in the Rous Stakes. Just a reminder as well, if you are enjoying these videos, do like and subscribe, and follow us as well on horseracing.net. On to the 2:10 at Newmarket. This is a fillies handicap, 12 due to go to post, over 1.25 miles. And again, this is pretty open. La Dragonty, she's worth considering. She got off the mark in really good style in a novice contest over this trip at Chelmsford. She's been handed an opening mark of 85 for her handicap debut. She's open to plenty of plenty of improvement yet, worth considering. Wondrous Words, Mold Davis, both been holding their form pretty well. Arrive here on the back of solid efforts, but the way to go here, I think, is with Oti Maboti. Apologies if I've pronounced that wrong. The favourite, she arrives here in terrific heart. She's won both of her outings so far this season in really good style. She was a 2-length winner at Goodwood in similar conditions back in August. She's been put up £6 for that, but she strikes me as a really progressive looking 3-year-old. I think she can take another step forward here, having been allowed time to freshen up. She can defy this mark of 92 under James Doyle. Really fancy Oti Maboti to win the 2:10. On to the 2:30, we'll keep this very brief. It's the Group 3 Cumberland Lodge Stakes, and on the form, it's very, very difficult to look past Logician. He looked a real high-class colt in the making when winning the St Leger last year. We haven't seen him for the vast majority of this season because of injury. He made a real pleasing reappearance in a conditions race at Doncaster last month. It didn't tell us too much. That was just a match race, but he dispatched of Mythical Magic with the minimum of fuss. He'll no doubt improve for that. He'll strip fitter for that. Very clearly sets the form standard here. He's 13-8 on. He probably just wins. This is more likely to tell us where he's going to go on Champions Day, you'd think, because he's running over 1.5 miles. So if he really relishes the trip in slightly more testing conditions, you'd think that he might go for the Champions Long Distance Cup. If he shows a real aptitude, if he's sharp and gets the job done, it could be that he drops back in trip for the Champions Stakes. But this is likely to tell us more about the future rather than it is the present. Logician can justify odds-on favouritism and take his unbeaten tally to 7. Yet to be defeated, Logician. On now to the 305 at Ascot. We've spoken about the Sun Chariot Stakes. Billesdon Brook is the bet there. 305 Challenge Cup. This is a nightmare to solve. It's a big field handicap, 7 furlongs, 17 go to post. A multitude of familiar names here. The 2018 winner, Raising Sand. Likely that this has been the aim for him. He was down the field in the Royal Hunt Cup on his one start so far this season. He was 8th, wasn't beaten too far, but he's an Ascot specialist. Likely this has been the plan for him. He's got a £7 claimer in Safi Osborne, who's shown herself to be a talented rider so far, on board, but this is a tough old mark for him. Last year's winner, Kinran, similar sort of tale. He's been in decent form so far this year. He was an excellent 5th in the Air Gold Cup last time. The 7 furlong trip should suit him better, but his mark of 105 is more than high enough. River Nymph is an improving type. Adam Kirby on board, won his last 2 starts, really upwardly mobile sort, but has a £11 penalty to contend with after winning at Newbury last time out. Loads more to talk about here. King Ottakar, can't write him off at all. Dropped £2. He's now down to a very attractive looking mark. Used to racing in much higher company than this. But I'm going to go with Blue Miss, worth giving him another chance. He was a really impressive winner of the International Stakes, you may remember, 2 starts ago. He wasn't so hot last time at Ascot over course and distance, but I think he's worth forgiving for that run. He wasn't beaten too far by documenting that day, 4.5 lengths. He's been dropped £1 for that effort. I do think there is a classy horse in there. I think he's capable of smart form. I think he can take a step forward, prove that to be a blip. At the prices, Blue Miss looks worth siding with at 9-1. 2 to go. We'll now look at the 2-year-old trophy at Redcar. This has a real habit of throwing up a smart animal, doesn't it? If you remember, 6 years ago now, Lamato won the race. Some other nice types have come out on top in the past. Bogart won this at the start of the decade. He was a smart sprinter as well. Loads in here that could be really anything. Some have had more starts than others. The favourite is Sprite, won in really good style the St Leger meeting last time in a nursery. Lullaby Moon also proving popular, ran really well in Group 3 company at Ayr last time out. There's loads to make a case for here. The Shark 2-1 went over to Ireland and won a valuable race at the Curragh last month, but the way I'm going to go here is with Uncle Jumbo. I've been really impressed with him so far for the Kevin Ryan team. He's made 3 starts. He won on debut at Doncaster back in June, and then he's run really well to hit the frame in 2 highly valuable contests at York and Doncaster the last twice. I was really impressed with his run at Doncaster. That came over 6.5 furlongs. He's a front-running type. I thought he ran shaped really well up front for a long way. Only just ran out of steam late on. That form looks strong here. The 6 he's running over half a furlong less. That should suit him. I think he could make a really bold bid in front, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't hit the frame. So at 9-1, Uncle Jumbo for me in the listed 2-year-old trophy at Redcar. And last but not least, we have the Bengough Stakes at Ascot, the 340. This is over 6 furlongs, Group 3 contest, 10 due to go to post. And as with earlier on the card, there's some familiar names in here. Brando, you know him. He's a very smart sprinter, isn't he? A Group 1 sprinter. He was last seen in the Haydock Sprint Cup. He was down the field that day, but if there's a strong pace on, he can never be discounted. You've got Kate Byron, 6-year-old. He's another one who is more than capable at this sort of level. He was a Group 3 winner of this race last year. Beat Don Juan Triumphant. Not seen him so far this season though, so he's got a long layoff to overcome. And with that in mind, the Tin Man looks worth going with here. Now, he isn't quite the force of old. He's an 8-year-old these days, very much a veteran in this sort of sphere, but that doesn't mean he hasn't been running well. He's produced some excellent efforts so far this season. He was second at this level at Newbury in the Hackwood Stakes in July. He wasn't beaten far by Dream of Dreams in the Sprint Cup last time out. He was a resounding winner of the Haydock Sprint Cup. He was only beaten 4 lengths. The Tin Man, he was quite close to the remainder of the field. I think he'll run well here. This looks a very good opportunity for him to return to winning ways. He goes well at Ascot. Yeah, the Tin Man appeals to me as the bet in the Bengough Stakes. So that was the horseracing.net preview of the racing on Saturday. If you did enjoy that, please do like and subscribe. Head over to the website. There is previews. You can read my thoughts on every single race on ITV. And we also have a full preview of the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe at Longchamp on Sunday. There's also a video on this channel. Do like and subscribe. There'll be no video next week. I'll be back the week after.